You know, one time I did a really stupid thing. I was driving in a 10-foot T-post, and I was up on a ladder, and this was above my head. I was trying to drive it in. And what happened was I was coming down really hard because it was really hard, like granite or something. And when I was coming up, I came up too far, and I hit the top of the T-post. And it hit the top of the T-post, and this thing came down and hit me right in the top of the head. And it was like things kind of went black, and I didn't pass out, but I was pretty close. And so you just want to be, I want to kind of like forewarn you that when you're doing this, make sure it's not above your head, and make sure when you pick it up, you don't pick it up above the white. And that was my mistake, and I knew that too. Pick it up to the white and drive it. Never go above the white. So anyways, I recovered from it. I don't think I have any Dane damage. So anyways, those are in. Now you're probably wondering, why am I standing in the shade? Well, here's the deal. It's really early in the morning, and I have one big Doug fir that's kind of shading the sun, and this will start getting sun about 8:30 or so, and then it'll be sunny all day long. And it's supposed to get 105 today. So I wanted to get out here and get this done before it got screeching hot and the sun started baking me. So anyways, what I needed to do was I needed to trellis this tomato plant here. Now there's a little bit of strategy that sometimes I use when I am putting my tomatoes in here. Like if I'm growing two of one variety, I put them next to each other. That way they can share the trellis. But if I have different varieties, I don't want to put them in close proximity to each other. Like one here and then one there and then share. So if they're a different variety, I'll put them on the other side of the bed, and then what I'll do is I'll put these on the ends and drive them in and then run a twine. So I put the tomatoes on one side is what I'm saying. And then I will run the trellis or the twine lengthways, and I will drive like a wooden post in here to kind of wrap it around, because I don't want it to span that whole 16 feet. Well, this is a 12-foot bed, but still that's a little bit long. But anyways, I'm just doing one right now, and of course that pepper over there will benefit from it, because I make sure that I will run the twine low enough to actually catch that when it starts growing. Now what I'm going to string it with is this garden twine. Now this is biodegradable garden twine. And I get like 2 or 3 years out of this stuff. After the second year, if you pull on it hard, it will break. But this is only just, it's not very much. It's like, I don't know how much. It's a few bucks. It's not very expensive at all. And this is like 200 feet. So I can do multiple sections with one roll of this. Now the only thing I don't like about this stuff is trying to find the end where you... okay, you know what? I'll find it and I'll get back to you. Okay, so what I do is I tie it like this in kind of a slip knot. So that way I can just pull on this and then undo it if I want to change it. Yeah, this tomato plant is past due for a trellising, but I've been so busy doing other things that I've neglected it. Now one thing about this string is you can't pull it too tight, because it is, you know, it's delicate. I mean, not super delicate, but you can't just yank on it like you can a nylon rope, because it's biodegradable. And so now another benefit actually that I didn't mention about these T-posts is they have these knobs, you know, for your fence clips. So this prevents the twine from sliding on the post. And these T-posts are 8-footers, but you could get the 10-footers if you're going to be having, you know, huge tomato plants here. This is about a 4 or 5 foot tomato plant, so I'm not worried about it. But I do have 10-footers that I use on some of my other ones. Okay, so now we've taken care of the movement this way. but not this way across the string. Now you could tie it to the string here, and that'll help. It'll only be able to move just so far. But what I like to do is put a stake next to it. Now you're probably thinking, why don't you just put a stake in and forget this string? Well, the problem is that I've used just stakes before, and sometimes the plants will act like a sail, and when the wind comes along, it'll just rock them, and it loosens up the stakes, and then the stakes kind of fall over. I mean, not all the way over, but they kind of lean, and then the plant starts to lean, and it just to me, I've never had good luck doing that. So I always like to put the trellis or the string up, and then I take any kind of stick I can find. Now, I've got these old bamboo ones that I've been using for years and years, and they work fine. This is just only like a 4-footer though. It works good if you only put it down a foot, then you've got 3 feet up in the air. And then, now these here, you'll notice this one, of course, this one used to be this color, but I've had this one. I bought this in 2013, I remember, because I bought a whole bunch of them. And the price was $1.99 for these, and what they are is they're plastic coated steel. And it's still got years and years left. So we're looking at 6 years on this one, and I went and bought some more of these. I looked where I bought, I didn't look in the same place I bought these here. I looked at a different store, and these were about $2.99 for these, so about $1 more. So if you look around, you still could probably get them for $1.99. But it doesn't matter to me because I use these for years and years. Now these are the 6-footers. Now you can also buy these larger ones, and these are 8-footers. And these, I'm telling you what, these things are stout. And I don't use too many of these. Now if you use this, and you're going to use the plant clips, you'll have to get a big enough plant clip to be able to go around this pole and the plant. But these work great because the 8-footers are nice because I can go down 2 feet and almost hit the bottom of the bed and still have 6 feet in the air. So these things are great if you want really stout sticks. This is the way to go. And of course also coated, coated steel. So anyways, for this one here, since this plant is not that large, it's only going to be probably a 4-footer or 5-footer, I'm going to go ahead and drive one of these in. Now what you can also do is what I've done in the past is you can go out in the woods. If you have like woods around you, you can go out and get branches that have fallen and stuff and drive those in, and then they're free. So it's like you just use whatever you have laying around. So this one here is going to be nice, and it'll be nice and stout. And so now this will take care of the movement this way, and then the trellis will take care of it this way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the plant to the trellis string and the pole all in one shot. Now let me show you how I do it. Okay, so the clips I like to use are these right here. And what they are is they just got a little, no, they're just a little ring and then snap in like that. Now, the only disadvantage to these, and other people have mentioned it too, is that to get these open, you're supposed to just push this down and it should open up, but they're a little stiff to do that. So sometimes what you have to do at the end of the season, you just have to take a little screwdriver and push down right here, and then when you push down on that, it just pops open. So let me show you. If you take a screwdriver, push here, and then it'll just open like that. Pretty simple, not too complicated, but I guess some people, they want to be able to just push these down, but they work, they're really strong. Look, I'm pulling on that really hard, and I can't get these to pop open. So pushing down on it like this, and having to get a little screwdriver under it to do that, to me, that's a small price to pay for a good secure clip. And I've had good luck with these here. Now, I am going to be doing a review on 3 different kinds of clips. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be in the next few days. I'm going to be uploading that. So for now, I'm going to be using these. And these are inexpensive. They're less than 10 bucks for 150 of these. So I'm thoroughly pleased with these clips. Now, like I said, though, you want to make sure that you get a clip that's big enough to go around the pole and the plant and give enough room for growth. So just like this here, and there's plenty of room here, I can get my finger down inside of here. So there's enough room for this thing to get twice as big as it is right now. So what I'm going to do is I want to bring the string here. I want to put this around the string. Let me bring you in closer. Okay, so what I do is bring this over. So I'm going under the string. I'm going over the string. So one side is under the string, one side is over, and then I'm going around the plant and then just clipping it like that. And there's plenty of room for the plant to grow right here. And this will keep it from moving this way back and forth, and keep it from moving this way. So this right here is pretty secure. Now there's one thing you're going to have to be conscious of. If you're putting it onto a lateral branch like this, or one that's just above a Y right here, you're going to have to watch and make sure as the plant grows that it doesn't come up and hit this and then try to push like this and then either destroy the plant or try to push the stake over. So if you're on here, of course, then if you're on one of these, you know, like the main stem, then it will just grow up through the clip and just keep on growing until it hits one of these side branches. But either way, no matter which way you do it, you're still going to have to keep an eye on it. So just, you know, most of the time, nothing ever happens. It pretty much just grows up through this and then branches out, and it just keeps on growing straight up. I never really have too many problems with it, but it's just something to keep an eye on. That. But this is also true with any way that you stake your tomatoes. So that's just something to watch. Okay, so this is one of multiple ways of securing your tomato plants, and all the ones I've seen, probably most of them do work just fine. But this is how I make sure that they don't move side to side and back and forth like this. Now, like I said before though, you know, you could just use a stake, and I'm sure sometimes people have had some good luck with that. I've just never had good luck with just staking them and then tying them to the stake. And I've also seen these sophisticated wooden trellises that people make, and then to me that's just a lot of time, a lot of effort that just to me is unnecessary. And they look pretty, they look cool, but and they're probably very functional, but to me it's just way too much work and too much expense. Now the biggest expense here, of course, is the T-posts, and you don't have to go out and buy these T-posts. I don't consider them part of the expense because I use them all over the property, and I mean, they have multiple uses, they last decades. But if you don't want to spend the money on these, then of course you can take a 2x4, rip a 2x4 down the center. You've got two 2x2s. You can screw it to the outside of your bed, or if you don't have a wooden frame bed, you can drive them into the soil, and as far as they will go, and then use that as your, you know, as your supports for your string. But either way you do it will work just fine. So, but this is the way that I do it, and I've had success. I've never lost a plant doing it this way, and it's worked great. It'll work for, I mean, 6, 8, 10-foot plants. Of course, you'll have to use a taller T-post. But they work great. So anyways, and like I said, stay tuned. I'll be doing a video on 3 different kinds of these plant clips. And I like all 3 of them, but they have different uses. And so I'll be explaining that in the video also. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little bell so you get notifications, okay? We'll catch you guys later.